that's a very difficult transformation. And but definitely this is my second day here, and it's really hopeful about it. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like Geeta already said, transformation is a process, long-term process, will take time. And yeah, we hope it will take us to a better world, better environment. Maybe Noel, from your perspective, from CSO perspective.
Thank you. Just picking up on what AJ just said, I think it's a sobering thought to realize that the conflict in Syria that has been so very destructive was kicked off, if you like, by climate change, a massive prolonged drought, urban influxes of people, social instability, and from there it got its own momentum. So I think that if we're talking agriculture and transformation and farmers' realities, governments, the parties to this convention need to realize just how important it is. And picking up on your point of migrancy, the land can provide a really fulfilling life and livelihood for people. And I believe collectively we can support that effectively. To pick up the question of projects serving longer-term processes, I think we must all keep in mind that those of us who work on the outside, if you like, as whether it be in the field with farmers or land users or in agencies, donor agencies, it's our responsibility to ensure the continuity of the process. And it's foolhardy to expect people at a local level to be the recipients of a 3-year project and after the 3 years to achieve this magical thing called sustainability. Projects at best can kick off a series of changes, but generally they will need to be sustained beyond a 3-year period. I thought what AJ said about failure was so important, not just documenting it, but actually actively learning from it and sharing those learnings. And I've facilitated a couple of sessions at adaptation conferences where we had to lock the doors to keep people out of sessions that enabled them to share frankly and openly their learnings from failure. And along with that point goes the importance of reflection, not just running ahead, but stopping and reflecting collectively. Then to pick up on the question from our colleague there from India, from IFAD, I believe Graciela talked earlier about stakeholder participation and how important it was to have that adequately catered for and funded. In Africa, a lot of development initiatives have fallen on their face through people being paid to participate. Others have fallen on their face from people not being adequately enabled to participate. So there's a very delicate balance to be struck in between. And Jules Pretty talks about, he proposed a hierarchy of participation, and at the bottom end, participation for incentives, and at the top end of the scale, self-mobilization, which I believe is what we're talking about in the case of the women's groups in India. And then just a last thought. If we have to assess biophysical transformation, the scientists have a big role to play, as do the land users. If we want to assess social transformation, I want to put it to you, the best people to be the judges of that are the people themselves. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Noel. Would like now to turn to Graciela. She helped in all 3 of the sessions with the definitions. And Graciela, please, maybe a very short summary.
No, I will take it on from Noel's. I like the concept that was put forward about projects being as tools to support processes. And I would say, thinking of what you just said about the connections and the Syria example, that's an example of what you just said is a system thinking on the implications. It's not only about my project, it's how my project connect with others. And so for me, that's important. The other aspect that I think is important is the one that I just briefly mentioned before, is having a theory of change. What you envisage, what it's a journey. For me, it's not the end. There is not an end. It's a journey. But what you envision the end of that journey to be. And then you apply your theory for change. So who is going to come to the table? When are they coming to the table? Who are you going to be trialing? And the other aspect that I think I would recover from your speech is that is the risk management. And that sometimes we need to be prepared and creating an environment where it is safe to fail. And for as long as you documented failure, that could be a lesson for other projects. So you stop it here, thank you.
Thank you, Graziella. Now I would like to turn to Chiz for some conclusive remarks, maybe from GEF perspective.
3 words? Okay. Well, I was really thinking about how do I put this in 3 words. I mean, responding to your initial challenge, and I have to say, land has value, right? And then I thought about somehow we have to think of how to value the land so that the impacts and outcomes that we're all seeking for can be maintained over a long run. So I think that's the big challenge that's put in front of us. All the panelists had a lot of constructive, I would say some of it is constructive criticism as well as suggestions for us to move forward. We take all these things in, we'll digest them, and see how we can build on those lessons to do better and do more and engage with a larger number of stakeholders and to make sure that we're doing the right thing by the right people. So.
Thank you, Chiz. And I'm only the facilitator, but since it was my own challenge that I put to you in 3 words, so my 3 words would be, we need champions. So I have to say I liked a lot the movie about the Great Green Wall. It gives really a picture to what we are trying to achieve, and it links us with the people that are benefiting from those activities. So we need those local champions. With that, I would like to thank again all the panelists. Some were on the stage 2 times, 3 times, and helped us through all the sessions to get our questions answered that we set out to answer today. And I think we have now a much better common understanding of what transformational change means and how we go about it. And I thank you, all the audience, for being here, for your active participation. I hope it was a time worth spent for you. And I also would like to thank, in the end, this RIO Convention Pavilion, because this is really a nice venue where we can come together and discuss issues that go across all 3 RIO conventions. And I think it's now a tradition here at all the COPs, and this is really a place where we can come together and discuss such cross-cutting issues. So thanks again, and another round of applause for all the panelists and all the moderators that have contributed today. Thank you so much.